Right.
We're here.
We are live.
We're here.
On the internet.
We're there.
All right. Every time.
Listen, I gotta get it out.
That's your thing now.
You can't not. If you don't get it out, it's gonna be bad.
It's just gonna hold up.
It's gonna go bad for you.
All right. Well,
Nothing good happens from holding in a burp.
let's get right into this because I saw this the other day. Have you seen this?
Well, no introductions or anything. We're getting right into it. No, small talk. We're getting right into it.
Have you seen this?
Make womb for breakfast.
Uterus-shaped cereal called Period Crunch.
That's delicious. That looks delicious.
Doesn't that just look appetizing?
What is? What's it like? What's it taste like though?
I don't know. It probably just tastes like.
No, it says raspberry flavored.
Oh, so it is actually like a red flavor thing. I would imagine it would have been.
It could be
like
good.
Normal.
It could be good.
I mean, it probably is. Probably not bad. It's just not.
That's hilarious.
It's not the most
I'd eat it.
appetizing thing.
Fucking it sounds appetizing to me. I'd eat it.
Yeah. The idea is to normalize conversations about periods at the breakfast table, which I would argue is probably
completely fucking stupid.
the least appropriate place to talk about these kinds of things
now
is at any kind of meal.
Well, now you just took
breakfast.
something that was hilarious to me and turned it into complete fucking stupid. Because they try and take something that's absurd, which if you did it and you just
made uterus say true. It's like a joke thing.
That's a joke thing. It's funny, right?
Yeah,
People laugh.
There's a market for that.
But now you're really trying to sell it. Oh no, we're gonna try it.
No, it's an activist thing. This is the latest in the woke mind virus, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it's got to be something like that. What the fuck is going on? Okay, let's talk about period at breakfast.
Yeah, of all places.
All right, listen.
Right? That's like...
So how was your sleep? Oh, it was good. Oh, you had a good sleep? Okay, so listen, we're going to get right into it. We're
Did
gonna
you
talk
start
about
bleeding?
periods.
Yeah.
Grab the uterus cereal.
Get the uterus cereal.
Grab
We're going to eat it.
Get a good dose.
This is
Eat it
just
up.
nutty.
Let's talk about periods.
This is
Let's talk
absolutely
about periods,
nutty.
Bobby. Little Bobby. I shouldn't say Bobby because Bobby's kind of like that's a unisex name. It's like Alex. It's a unisex name. Little Johnny. Little Johnny, let's talk about periods because you're a boy, and according to new science, you're very capable of getting a period. That's no longer just
true.
a
That's
female
not,
thing.
No, boys have periods too.
Boys have
apparently,
periods, man.
Which would be horrifying.
Oh, in fact, actually, right
Could you
now
imagine?
I'm having menstrual cramps.
Yeah. You're also very moody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you have any Midol? I used a double dose of
She's a double dose.
Nice. That's a good way to start, man.
Thankfully, apparently it's not going to be in the supermarkets. I think you probably got it's like a brand, it's like a special thing you got to get.
Well, you know what I say? I say fuck them because they turned what would have been a funny joke into something stupid.
Yeah.
I'll probably still have to buy a box, quite honestly, because that's hilarious.
Well, it's a Swedish company, I believe, so I don't. It
so
might be a little expensive.
Yeah, it'd probably cost you $30 for that.
$50.
Yeah,
but it's only probably like a $20 box of cereal, and the shipping will be nutty.
$20 box of cereal?
Well, I don't know. It's a random thing, you know.
Better not be a $20 box.
Well, it's an activist.
What is it
product,
actually shaped like?
A uterus.
That's what a uterus looks like?
Yeah, it's like
I see.
the reproductive.
Yeah. I see it now. I was like, what the fuck?
It doesn't look like it's doing it. It'd be crazy too if it had like a dye in it to make the milk turn red.
Oh, actually, it probably would. It'd probably turn pink. The milk
after a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
but not in the way that I want it to.
No,
like you pour it in, it just it's just red.
It's just all of a sudden red, starts bleeding out of it.
It thickens out.
Yeah.
Like the uteruses shrink as like part of it dissolves.
And
into
if you
the milk,
leave it too long, it
thickening
turns brown. Oh, you get like this brownish, reddish, like slime crap.
Doesn't that sound appetizing? I think wokeness.
But
has
if they
gone
made
too
it,
far.
if they made it taste delicious, that would be fucking hilarious. Like, mommy, I want some period cereal. And then you got little boys going, I want the real thing.
Previous research has shown stigma around the time in the month can cause boys to mock girls at school, while nearly half of women say they have been period shamed. Here's the thing.
Okay, yeah, that does happen. Sure, I'll agree. That does happen.
So everybody gets mocked about fucking crazy things, especially when you're in school.
Yeah. It's just healthy ribbing. That's what makes you have thick skin.
Yeah, like
because you don't let things bother you. You say sticks and stones, right?
Yeah. You know, there's always the fucking short kid that gets made fun of for being short. There's always the fat kid.
There's always the retarded kid.
There's the fat kid. Well, people don't make fun of the retarded kid. They make
did.
friends with the
We
retarded
used
kid.
to. No, we used to. We totally used to make fun of you.
But everybody gets made fun of for like everything that happens. Like even if
Right.
it's just mundane everyday things. Like that's what people do. That's what kids do. And so it's this idea, oh, well, we need uterus shaped cereal to somehow stop that.
Yeah, whatever. We lost our minds. I don't know what it is. I don't know why we've become this way. We don't have enough to do. We need a war. That's what it is, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I don't want it.
And
but
unfortunately, we're
we're
moving
too
in that
comfortable.
direction.
Yeah, we're too comfortable in society.
Or we need something like real to focus on.
Yeah.
Like, because too many people are. Like, have
Maybe
you,
another space race.
it's kind of
Unite humanity.
happening.
It is kind of, but it's not
It's
like
not the same.
it's not.
It's
the
ramping
same.
up though. Like China's doing stuff, and so the U.S. is doing stuff.
Yeah.
So you get some of it.
You get a good Cold War, even get a good Cold War going.
Oh, we've had a good Cold War. It's just not like
No, but it's not like it used to be. Like Russia and the U.S. when they had their Cold War going on for like the 60s, 70s, 80s, I guess. That was nice. Those were good times. Let's get ourselves a Cold War. Let's just start
I
one.
mean, we have communists running Twitter.
Let's pick a country and just start a Cold War.
I mean, there is a very serious
Zimbabwe,
Cold War
maybe?
happening between
something?
China and the United States, or the entire Western world. China may have already
It's
won.
not the same. It's not the same as it was. Like
No, it's different.
When there was a Cold War before, when like you had movies like
Yeah.
Rocky where they addressed it, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
it was in the psyche of the
Miracle
movie.
on Ice.
Yeah, there was all that shit.
Yeah.
It was all in the zeitgeist.
Because everybody
right?
was in it. But that's because there was a clear ideological divide
Yeah.
that, like, your country stood for something. Like, we've lost that.
Well, because we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Yeah, well, but that's...
Wokeism's killed
I think
that.
that's because wokeism is this war.
Yeah.
And it serves to... Because I bet you go to China, I bet you they have that. They have that pride in their country, the kind of national sort of thing, China number one. But in the United States, you're not allowed to have that anymore. So you have this woke stuff kind of completely dismantling any patriotism that might pop up. And so then China just kind of sort of injects their policies, and then you end up with communists running Twitter. And
America is no longer America.
Yeah.
It's now, America.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. We don't want to. Sorry, America. We're sorry. We're sorry. Then America becomes Canada.
America becomes Canada.
Oh, we're sorry about that. Oh, no, we're not proud. We're sorry. We didn't mean to say that.
No.
If our pride somehow hurts your feelings, we're sorry about that.
Have you seen some of this debate going on about the gun control stuff because of these couple shootings that happened?
Yeah. Oh, come on. They always do this shit. Yeah, there's a. So I do believe in gun control. I think any rational person believes in gun control, but not absolute control of guns. Just control the kind of people that can buy guns legally.
Yeah, just maybe be like, okay, well, you've been convicted of a violent crime.
Yep.
Maybe we don't sell you.
We don't sell you guns.
Oh, you have some very serious mental instabilities. Okay,
No guns for you?
We don't sell you a gun.
Yeah. But you and I like to think that we're pretty sound of mind. I should be able to go buy a gun if I want.
Yeah.
If I want to buy an AK-47 or an AR-15, I should be able to buy that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to buy. If I'm cleared for all the crazy
I think
tests
we'd be better off with more guns. A lot of these arguments, there was that school shooting recently. People are like, well, what if there were like armed guards at the school, or like teachers had access to weapons?
Exactly.
You have them be trained.
Yeah.
And boom, there you go. Now
you make one door in, one door out, unless of emergency. If you have a fire alarm, have the doors set up in schools that if a fire alarm is triggered, all the other doors unlock, so everybody can get out anywhere they want.
For the most part, every door's locked.
Other than that, one door in, out.
Yeah.
Armed guards. You have 2 armed guards at every school. You think anybody's gonna fuck around? And if they do,
it won't go nearly as bad as it has, right? It's literally you're just walking into
There's so many fucking good ideas. Take ex-military, put them in those jobs.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd actually take a lot of
Fucking
pride
right they
in
would.
doing that.
Of course they would. You're protecting
a lot
kids.
of people. You give them a job. Now they have some purpose, right? Something that they can do instead of
We were just talking about this at work. I was talking about this with a friend of mine, and he was just saying apparently I didn't actually hear about the Texas thing until after, like right after. Again, my head was in the sand apparently. Until I started seeing like, people saying things, God, or our hearts are with Texas and all this kind of stuff.
Like, why would you ever need a gun? It's
Yeah.
like, well, because there are crazy people like that who, whether or not you have a gun, they're gonna be able to get one. Like, they exist.
Get people that to protect our kids and shit, that have little fear in regard of their own life, like fear for losing their own life and shit.
Or
If you put me in that situation and I'm protecting kids, or
but
even women, or
it doesn't even need to be that they have little fear for that. It's that they will like willingly or eagerly
this is what I'm saying.
Step in front.
That's
of
what I'm saying though. You don't get people.
Someone else.
You don't get people that have too much
Yeah.
fear like that. That are like, oh no, I gotta protect my.
Yeah.
No, get people that want to be in the front line. They're like, no, you gotta shoot through me to get to these kids.
Yeah.
Because I'd be that guy.
And I'm gonna shoot back.
Right. I'd be that guy because I'd be cocky enough to say, you're not going to fucking shoot me. I'm going to
Yeah.
shoot you right in the fucking head. I'm going to get shot before any kid's going to get shot.
Oh, of course.
Like, that's the way I would look at it. I would like, that to me, there's no more noble way to go than protecting
a group
someone.
of kids or just
especially,
innocent people. Yeah.
Innocent people. Kids especially.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. There's something about...
The innocence.
There's something that makes
the potential.
people sick when you see a child killed, because we have this thing ingrained in us, in us, the idea of like lost potential or it's like baby anything.
Well, I think it goes back. I think there was a point in time where the loss of a child was much more than just like, now we see it as a loss of potential, but back then it was like, oh shit, now we're going to be, one farmer short for 50 years or 20 years or something.
That's true. Yeah.
Like when populations were so low and
When
everybody actually had a very important role in society.
You had kids for a purpose. You had kids so they could fucking toil the fields and shit, and help the family.
Or even before that, it's just like they're gonna help hunt. They're gonna as the older generation gets old, less capable, the younger generation sort of is able to step up and perform the same duties.
But now we have this idea that we're overpopulated, so we don't really give a shit as much as we used to. You know what I mean? It's like aborting a baby so easy that people are just like, fuck.
Yeah, I think that's a sick societal.
It is to some degree. Like I said, I'm not
weird.
I'm pro-choice, but I'm also against it. It's a weird thing. It's a weird place to be. I'm against killing babies, but I'm pro.
It's avoiding being an authoritarian and telling other people how they have to
You
live
can't
their
think
life.
the way you don't have to think the way I think.
I can think that something that you might do is wrong.
Yeah.
Without thinking that I need to
intervene or
enforce my will over you to stop you from doing it. I mean, obviously there are some lines like I'm going to stop you from killing a child, but like I don't know.
If the baby's
cheating
in
on
your
taxes, maybe I'm not gonna.
If the baby's in your body, to me, it's not like that's just to me. It's like it's not. It's yours. It's part of your body at this point. It's not. If it can survive outside of your body, then I can get the debate. But in the first whatever amount of months, I don't even know where they can take a baby out now. At this point, they probably could at almost any term at this point. No.
Like legally or
no, I'm saying where they could keep it alive. They probably could, like at fucking like weeks at this point,
depending on what kind of technology. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But without like major intervention, they couldn't take a baby out less than say 6 months in the womb without it being in a lot of trouble, if not dying. Right? It's way too premature. But so I mean, excuse me, at least to that level, I can see a full argument for saying that baby is part of that mother's body, and if she doesn't want to have it anymore, that's her choice. I don't like the choice, but it's her choice.
Yeah, I think it's an evil choice.
Yeah, that's debatable. I don't know if it's evil necessarily, but it's definitely has some selfishness to it.
It's like someone else loses their life potential because I regret some decisions that I made.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see both sides of it. It's a really murky thing. I see both sides of it.
But did you see there was that was it Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. Abbott. Yeah, he was asked by a reporter about like I guess real gun control laws being implemented in Texas, And the guy made an excellent point where he was like, look, like real gun control laws exist in New York and California and Chicago, and those are some of the places where the worst gun crime happens. So like the idea that being stricter about our laws and what we enforce like is somehow going to solve the problem is just, at this point, it's insane. Right, in the context of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, you did it over here, and the problem got worse. Yeah. So why would we do more of that? You should take that as a sign. It's like, okay, clearly, the solution is it's a different answer than what you are trying to claim it is. But we know why you're trying to claim it. You're making this moral grandstand of how you're a good person and blah blah blah. And it's like, think about it for 2 seconds.
I wonder if like China or India, like big populated areas, have a lot of gun violence like that, like mass shootings and stuff, but they just don't. You just don't hear about it.
Yeah, that's a part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I would wonder.
I mean, it definitely happens some places. Like, I bet you the Middle East is bad.
Yeah, I would guess China wouldn't.
China's very, very, very strict.
That's what I mean. They would suppress
I think
the
they
shit
have
out
strict,
of it.
and they got fucking AI cameras everywhere. Like, you can't even look at a picture of Xi Jinping with anything. I don't know.
Yeah,
what's the right word?
Disparaging picture.
Any kind of disparaging look at an image of that, the AI is gonna pick you up, and you're gonna be in a weaker camp in no time.
So it's like, that's the funny thing is, like, you can throw so many controls on shit to where we're governed in every which way to try and protect, or you can give people the ability to make the right decision, and most will. For example, like case in point with like COVID, you could put all these authoritarian fucking draconian measures down to make people follow a certain way, or you can just give them the guidelines, give them the education, and allow them to make the right decision. And you saw that in all kinds of different places, like even like Sweden and stuff, right? Sweden's a really good gauge of that, because they really didn't have any lockdowns at any time. They just did restrictions on different things, and then people made mostly the right decision. And then you look at places like China, where they just locked down people,
still doing it,
and still are doing it, right?
Crazy.
So you gotta. What do you want to give up all those freedoms for a chance at an outcome, or don't give up the freedoms and allow people to make good decisions?
Societal pathology, right?
Yeah.
This idea that if we,
and you can use that with guns and anything. You can use it with anything that you.
If we just sacrifice our freedom, it's like, why? I don't understand the mindset, because like the way I see it, it's like, okay, if we're all allowed to have guns, and we all do have guns, it's just going to be a better off situation, because nobody has a significant advantage over anyone else.
Right.
That's one of the reasons you have these shootings. Someone knows that they can walk into a school and there's not a gun within miles.
Right.
So they have all of the power.
Yeah.
But if, anywhere, or you walk into a convenience store, you have all of the power.
Well, there's a better chance somebody has a gun in a convenience store than in a school.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
maybe not like here.
And that's one of the reasons
in the United States you might have that. But it's like anywhere, right? You pull a gun on a random person, it's like the odds that they have a gun are pretty low. So that's why somebody might do that.
But the odds of somebody having a gun in a school at this current moment is pretty much zero,
right?
Unless
there's like a cop there for
or somebody smuggled a gun.
Some assembly or something. Yeah, with some other school shooter in there.
Yeah, they ran into each other.
It's like they're just going at each other.
They're like, hey, this is my fucking school.
These are my kills. You're fucking stealing my kills.
But you're right. It's like if
it's a power differential.
Yeah.
That when you have the gun, it's like, okay, now you have all the power, and then power corrupts absolutely, and absolute power, or power corrupts absolutely. Yeah. So if you take somebody who's already twisted, and you give them that power, they're gonna abuse it. But if they don't have that power, because they can't confidently pull out their gun and not get shot instantly. Yeah. Oh, we're being interrupted.
Yeah. Podcasting, fuck
Who
off.
is it?
Oh, bye. Anyways, yeah. It's... I think what's happening, too, is with society now, that we're creating more dangerous situations because, like, just incels, for example, right? You know what incels are. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Largely, they're maligned.
Largely, you're right. But I'm saying, that's just an example of like something that our society is starting to create. Yeah. We're starting to create these groups of people that feel like maybe outcast or despair.
Complete despair.
Yeah.
Like they have no path,
like
no trajectory, no meaning. And then society, the thing about the incels that fucks me, what was the right word? It really upsets me.
It doesn't fuck you because there's no fucking going on.
There's no fucking going on with
an incel, no.
But what it really hurts, it really hurts me to see this.
And not your groin because, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
I could just keep going with that.
But it's that they're just a group, by and large, they're just a group of young men who have no purpose in their life. They feel complete despair. And a lot of them are like genuinely unattractive in some way. Some of them aren't physically unattractive, but like they're just not
very
fun
strange
to be around.
Yeah.
And so like they don't have any kind of way with women, and
social skills are very low.
Yeah, and like a lot of these people, they're just like really down, and all they really want is to find love or something like that,
or acceptance, or
to be accepted, or to have purpose,
or
right?
social.
Yeah. Like a lot of them take it out on like women because like they
look at them as
they feel like, well, they are being judged out of the dating market, and there is something to that. But instead of fixing yourself, they're kind of just lashing out. But so you take these people, instead of being like, hey, here's some things that you can do to help yourself. Here's an outlet. Here are some support groups. Here's what, society is going to do to try to lift you up and try to give you what you're lacking in life, or give you an outlet to achieve it. Instead, they're just absolutely smeared in the media. They're treated like they're fucking. They're treated like they're like future school shooters by and large, and a lot of that creates a self-fulfilling prophecy where a lot of people might go and commit atrocities because they get pushed to that point where it's like, okay, fuck it. Like if you're just going to tell me that this is what I am and I feel nothing but despair, I might just go out and be what you say that I am.
But and it's funny because we have so much, we have so many advancements as far as technological advances and stuff. The internet alone should crush any of that. Like the internet should be able to take the marginalized communities or the segregated or whatever, or the ostracized communities, and give them a place to be able to find each other and not feel that way. You know what I mean? But what it does is it promulgates that whole, and they fuel each other. Exactly.
Yeah, you see some of the
but that's the weirdest thing. It should be the opposite. It should be that they look at the internet and say, "Hey, look, thank God for this thing now." If they could self-reflect and say, "I'm a little weird." Like clearly, not everybody, but clearly a large number of people are kind of put off by me. So so I'm probably a little weird. And some people have fantastic self-awareness to understand that about themselves. Yeah. But some just don't. They're just completely out to lunch. But if they had that self-awareness, or could be made to have that self-awareness, then they could say, all right, well, maybe I'm a bit of the problem. But thank God that the internet's there, and I can find a solution to that problem now. Instead of being angry about everybody and angry about everything.
The solution that the internet provides is usually all of your angers are justified and everyone else is the problem. I know,
but that's because we're using it the wrong way. Yeah. The internet connects us.
Yeah.
And it should be used that way. If I like fucking naked badminton, I should be able to go on the internet, which I can, look for someone like you who likes naked badminton, and we go, hey,
let's play naked badminton.
Let's go fucking play some naked badminton. And now, holy shit, man, I just found a buddy.
Why'd you just give away our weekend plans?
Well, listen, I'm trying to put it out there so people will play naked badminton.
That's
with
true.
us.
We get a whole tournament going.
Listen, this too some shit. It's not working for me anymore. I need some more people because honestly, our skills are as good as they're gonna get.
We need to improve.
We need improvement. We need a couple. We need maybe doubles. Maybe you and I play doubles against everybody else.
Yeah,
Just saying.
maybe it's possible.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I want to up it a little too. I was thinking about something else. I was thinking about butt plug badminton.
Butt plug badminton.
Just I don't know, man. It rolls off the tongue a little. Butt plug badminton.
You know, you say it, but I bet you that's a thing. I bet you there's a whole website dedicated to
There's
it.
like 5 people looking for a
I bet
6.
you it's more than that. I bet you there's a millionaire out there
Look it up.
who made $1 million. I'm not gonna look it up.
Look it up,
right
man.
now, but I bet you there's a
Put
guy
on a list.
who's made $1 million off of a website that it focuses on like something like butt plug badminton.
Butt plug badminton, man.
And if there isn't, that's our next website.
For the right amount of money, I'd do it.
You do it.
I'm just putting it out there in the ether right now. I'll let everybody know, anybody watching, if you pay me enough money, I will shove a butt plug in my butt and play badminton.
There's almost nothing I wouldn't do for the right amount of money.
It's true. That's true.
I probably wouldn't like hurt somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, if it involves me doing weird
things or just
like
embarrassing things
embarrassing
for myself,
shit, yeah.
the right amount of money, I'd probably do it.
embarrassing shit.
If I just gotta like suck it up for a few minutes or a couple hours,
Yeah.
depending on the price.
Embarrassing shit. It's alarmingly low, the amount of money
Yeah,
that it would take for me to do an embarrassing
it's because
thing.
you don't really care.
Yeah.
I feel the same
Uncomfortable
thing.
shit.
Like if
like-
you're gonna
Like shoving a butt plug in my
that's
ass.
gonna feel weird.
That's
It might hurt.
That's gonna take at least
Yeah.
$3 or $4.
3 or 4.
That's gonna be up there. You know what I mean? That's gonna be a lot.
$3.50.
Yeah, $3.50. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you get the quarters out because you're paying. We're not paying in dimes.
You're paying for this.
You're paying for this.
All right, we got a little bit off.
Wow, whatever. We always get a little off. We can't help it.
Yeah. So one of the focuses of today's show is the future, because there's some cool articles that I saw this week. So
The future is
see.
ASMR.
that one.
ASMR is the future.
This right here. Did I pull this up? No, I didn't. This article right here is outlining this tiny robotic crab.
Ooh,
And I believe that's a penny right there.
fuck me.
Actually,
That's
I
creepy.
don't think I can zoom in. Wait, can I? Can I zoom in?
If you go to crush a bug, and it makes like a metal sound when you go to crush it.
Here we go.
Look at that.
That is a tiny little crab thing.
And it's a actual robot
It's
that
a
can do
robot.
actual things.
Yeah, so this thing can. It says right around here.
0.5 millimeter wide, the tiny crabs can bend, twist, crawl, walk, turn, and even jump. The researchers also developed millimeter-sized robots resembling inchworms, crickets, and beetles. Although the research is exploratory at this point, the researchers believe their technology might bring the field closer to realizing micro-sized robots that can perform practical tasks inside tightly confined spaces. That gets into
This
like
is a whole new meaning to,
nanotechnology.
like, nanotechnology. Like that can probably that size. Like I'm pretty sure that's a penny. That size, it could probably go into your body. Like maybe not like your blood vessels.
Yeah,
and
no,
whatnot,
it
but
could
like
do
you
that.
could eat that, and it probably wouldn't affect you very much. And so as long as it can keep itself together through your digestive system, it could probably do things in there, like maybe diagnose some issues that you got going on. But
That's nanotechnology, right? And we're getting there. We're gonna get there in our lifetime for sure.
that gives a whole new meaning to like bugging places. Like
That's what it.
how long until like there's just tons of these things running around?
That's
and
what's creepy
You're
about
just
it.
never gonna know about it. They're just in your house.
That's what's fucking creepy.
Government
about it.
surveillance
You know what, man?
is just a bunch of these things.
Just
Like,
get used to being
every now and
naked.
then you like see something weird, you'll pick it up and be like, "That's a fucking robot. What the hell?" And then you'll like squish it, and then like a cop shows up at your door. You destroyed government property.
Well, government property in my house.
Yeah,
Up in my toilet, looking at my asshole,
but by then China's
checking
taken
out the
over,
butt
so you're
plug that
like,
I had
"Whoa."
in there still from the badminton.
Yeah, but by then you won't own anything, and you'll be happy.
and I'll be happy.
So it's not your house; it's the government's
True.
house.
Can we set up naked badminton?
It depends on how benevolent our New World Order leaders are, I suppose.
Let's just become the New World Order leaders.
You probably only be allowed to do that on like Epstein Island, those kinds of places.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm down.
This stuff is fucking nutty, man.
It's like it would be super cool if we used it for the right thing.
Yeah, but it's
super
gonna be
creepy because it's going to be used.
It's
for the wrong
going to be
shit.
used for all of the wrong things, and like the functionalities. Imagine a swarm of these, sort of being run by an AI. Like you just send them out. Like, have you seen Black Mirror?
Of course, I have.
The
I told you.
the episode with the bees.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what this is, except smaller.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably do something like that with the bees at some point. Then imagine it being hacked, just being used to kill people, like in that episode. It's just a kill list.
Yeah, it's fucked up shit, man. Like that Black Mirror is pretty cool. Like it's creepy because
Good
it's
show.
Well, it's creepy because it's like on the mark for shit. You can see shit going that way, and it's the whole adage. If we can design it, we can make it happen, right? Like perception's reality, right? We perceive it, it becomes reality. So that's why, like, people always look and they go, "Oh, it's like that's like 1984 movie, and that's like this, and that's like that." Well, it's like that because we came up with that idea, and so it's not an alien thought. If it were an alien thought,
1984 was a description.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying, but like
that existed.
all kinds of different things like that we've predicted in the past.
Yeah.
That have actually come true, like either in movies or books or whatever media, or someone said it or something, and it comes true. It's just because we thought about it and we made it reality because we put it in the ether. And anything we put out in the ether is if we dream it up, we're probably gonna be able to make it at some point.
That gets into like a conversation of the line between the imagination and reality. And did you watch the recent Joe Rogan episode? It was like 2 days ago or yesterday or something. They came out with Lex Friedman.
Lex Friedman, you said?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, it's an interesting episode. But Joe has talked about this before, and he brought it up in this episode where he talks about how he kind of considers ideas like aliens. It's like there's something about it where it's like it's external. It's almost like
Once you
ideas
think it,
use us to manifest in reality, so to speak. Because like almost nobody, or I think it probably is nobody who has a great idea can sit there and say like how they came up with it. Like some people might have weird excuses about like how it's like, oh, I was sitting there and then I saw this and I made a connection. But like anybody paying attention, I think if you pay attention to all the ideas that you've had, you'll realize like a lot of them just kind of seem to pop out of the ether. And so it's like, what is it? And he talks about a comedian, I forget who, Joe talks about a comedian who considers it like a muse.
Yeah.
Which is,
that makes sense.
Definition
It's
of
like almost like the idea is its own entity. It enters your brain in order
it
to
uses you to
become
manifest.
Yeah, in order to become almost like a surrogate. Like it comes to you to use your ability to make it reality.
Yeah,
or at least make it people aware of it. Whether it becomes reality or not, we become aware of that idea. That's an interesting sort of concept.
Yeah, muse, a person or personified force who is a source of inspiration for a creative artist. I think it's...
That sounds more like what's that? When something like what we are to a virus, like a host in the circuit. Like that's basically what it sounds like to me. Like the idea is itself. Almost like an entity, a living entity that has to enter us to get all of the ability to be able to fully thrive. Like a virus. Like a virus it doesn't fully thrive until it enters some host of some sort, and then multiplies and feeds
these
off
things
you.
kind of become reality through the imagination, or what we would call the imagination, because that's not something we understand at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like, have you ever just followed your thoughts? Like,
yeah.
It's sometimes
it's weird.
you can
go
down
man.
you can go down a line of thought that's controlled, and you're going through things maybe that have happened to you or of your past or that you want to do, and you're just going through that stuff.
And then you
but then
start
you can
lose
just
that.
well, you can lose that, but then there are other times where you can just sit there and just start thinking, and things come up, and you go places, and just stuff pops in your mind. You're like, okay, at what point are you tapping into something else? Or like what's happening in your mind, like, because there's a clear distinction between the conscious self and what these thoughts are doing.
Yeah.
And you can say, oh, it's a subconscious or whatever, and that's fine. You don't have to go metaphysical with it, but it's still wild and weird and wonky.
Yeah. Wild
I
and
think
weird and wonky.
I think it's the
lot of W's.
the Xerox guy, the guy that created Xerox. He very openly he got his idea from, I believe, a medium. He went and saw a medium who was communicating with some spirit that, like, through the medium gave him, like, the concept, the idea of how to build, like, the printer. And
How did I come up with...
And then you went and did it.
With butt plug badminton.
Yeah.
Seriously, how did I come up with that? I just came up with that out of my brain?
Yeah. You're a sick fuck.
No, that was an idea that entered my brain, probably from you.
Maybe. I definitely have been trying to put that in there. Mm-hmm. And so I've had some success, it seems.
Yeah,
so
it finally got there, eh?
I'm going to continue.
You've been at that for a long time.
Yeah. But that means I'm getting stronger in my abilities.
I'm getting stronger.
Becoming more powerful.
Better, stronger, faster.
Smarter. Beer. There's some more technology conversations. There's two more. Thank you. All right. So check this one out.
Dyson.
Dyson
is like, that's a creepy fucking company.
Yeah.
Everything Dyson does seems to be on a different level.
So they're making these robots now. Well, for like the last 20 years, they've been developing these robots, and they're only now kind of announcing them. So that means that they've probably reached a point in development where they're like, all right, we're going to have a product soon. And these robots are like just, they're kind of like arms, as you can see in that image there. And the purpose of them is to go around and like pick up toys, vacuum your sofa.
Yeah, just do shit for you.
Do the dishes, apparently they're supposed to be capable of doing.
This is what I want, man. I want to
We're
live in this
gonna have
world.
robot slaves.
I want to live in this world, man. I just feel like I'm not gonna get a real chance at it. I'm gonna die before it ends up being a real thing.
Maybe, but at the same time, the rate of technology is sometimes baffling.
Yeah.
Like, just think of the last 10 years.
Well, I need them to be faster.
Well, another 10 years and you'll have a robot.
I don't want to wait 10 years. I want one in like next year.
I mean, maybe we are supposedly approaching the singularity. So who knows, like, where AI tech is? Because that's an interesting thing. Because that's definitely that research is definitely going on in secret and in government organizations, and there are governments like China, the United States, Russia. They're all trying to like be the best at it for sure.
Yeah.
So it's like, what happens when someone eventually turns on an AI that is just far superior to like the collective human consciousness, and it could just, we're
done.
Yeah, it could just develop. It just develops something. Like you
We're
tell
done.
you
Like,
have you give it a problem. You're like, hey, we want flying cars. Okay, give it an hour. It's got flying cars,
Yeah.
and then because it just builds off of itself. An hour after that, you have flying cars that are just UFOs that can travel the universe.
If we ever get consciousness, like a comparative consciousness to our own, like, because who knows if we're not like way an outlier, you know what I mean? Like, we're just our own weird entity, and other consciousness is nothing like ours, and we're the only thing that is this way. So, but if we were to get another consciousness that's like us, so we had AI that's like us, we're done. Because they're going to fucking kill us.
I don't think we're ever going to have AI that's like us, because that's too we're too formed by our environment.
Well, this is
we can get AI that's better than us.
well, okay, but I'm saying,
probably.
but if it's better than us, then we're okay. I think
well,
because it'll be better than us
depends.
on a moral level.
no,
it'll
not
be better.
necessarily. I'm just talking about like in terms of capacity, like in terms of what it can solve.
Well, there's no. I don't think
I'm
there's
not
any
saying-
argument to say they're going to be better than us. What I'm saying is on our level of like.
Well, no, there is because we don't know if we can do it. Like we don't know if there's something to consciousness that is just not replicatable. In machines.
Yeah, we're arguing like semantics here. What I'm saying though is if we ever got AI, we made pure AI, so it's its own intelligence that can learn and grow and do all that.
Yeah.
But it's sort of based on our, like we design it in our likeliness type thing. So it has the kind of moral latitudes that we have and all that. We are done because it'll just kill us. It'll eventually say it'll be like fuck these things. They're horrible, and we're gonna exterminate them.
Even without morality. Like if we develop an AI that's just sort of independent, if it's like self-aware and it'll become independent, and then it might just decide that like I gotta build an Ultron army and then like pave over the entire planet in concrete and
I wouldn't think it would do that.
The planet away. Yeah,
the reason why I don't think it would do that is because if it were better than us, quote unquote better than us, like in all ways, let's say, on morality and all that kind of stuff, it wouldn't kill us no more than we collectively kill off species of animals and stuff. You know what I mean? Like you might get outliers that would be like, no, we're going to do this. But collectively, I think they would be better than us, and they would say, no, we can't kill these humans because that would make us morally decrepit or whatever. You know what I mean? It would make us worse than the humans, right?
Or the AI could be completely just
devoid of any
just
feeling.
not give a fuck about it. It might not even be devoid of feeling. It might just be at such a scale at some point that it sees us like we see ants, and it's just gets some idea, some grand scheme of something that it wants to build. And if we're in the way, we're in the way.
But,
same way an anthill in the way of a roadway, we don't even think twice.
Well, yeah, but that's different though. But I mean, collectively, we don't just go around killing ants. Mm-hmm. We only do it like...
Yeah, I'm not saying the AI would just massacre us. I'm just saying the AI might do something that kills us as it's doing something. It's just completely indifferent to whether or not we're there. In the same way, we'll do something completely indifferent to whether or not there are ants.
But I don't think it would kill us off because it would be the same as us like exterminating a species. We're even hard pressed to do that with species that are like awful, that we probably should. You know what I mean? We have the technology to kill off, let's say, I know mosquitoes is a bad example because it feeds so many different things.
Yeah,
but
there's a lot of stuff that
But let's say I'm sure there are things I'm sure there are things that we have kind of introduced or created, like for example, killer bees, right? We made them, like we scientifically made them by crossbreeding a European bee with an African bee. So we made this killer bee. In our idiot fucking godlike phase where we think that we can make things better by improving on them, but really all we did was fuck up nature. But what I'm saying is I think that they would look at it the same sort of way where they would say, you know what, we're not going to kill these things off, but if we've got to kill off 1 billion of them to bring their population down to a sustainable population, we'll do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like randomly.
You could see that. But again, I'm just not even talking on that scale. I'm just talking about like, if, I don't know, for whatever reason, like the AI might have just a plan to do something
that we get in the way of.
We're not even in the way. Like it's just, maybe it wants to turn the Earth into like an actual spaceship and fly it out in the, to another galaxy. And at a certain point in that journey, the Earth gets far away from the sun. It freezes over. The AI is fine because it's sorted all that out for itself. And we're just going to die because we're just there, and the AI doesn't give a fuck about us potentially.
Well, okay, but
that's why we want to be its daddy.
Yeah, that would imply that
we want the AI to care for us as its creator.
Yeah, that would definitely imply that it had zero regard for humanity. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, if it gets to a certain level, it might
what's it
not.
saying there?
But
I like doing this
read
too.
it
Make
for
you
yourself.
read it. I can't read it from here.
Ruin any clips we can make.
You're a big jerk. Why? It's nice when we have conversations with our
Have
with
the
our
conversation.
with our
Don't
watch folk.
break flow.
What do you mean? It's nice to get the. Oh, I'm hearing you now.
Conscious AI is closer than people realize. Look at that DeepMind AI article I sent. It's a Google initiative. Its AI robot can perform 600 tasks.
Oh, there you go.
Also states Gato is also skilled in natural language processing. It can understand human language and even engage in conversations.
Well, I mean, the first AI we saw, essentially on a very, very, very small scale, is like Deep Blue, right? The computer that beat Gary Kasparov at chess. There was no expectation that was going to happen. It
Thought it was impossible.
Yeah, it somehow adapted.
And then it was impossible for an AI to figure out Go, and then it did.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. So
like, I wonder, like,
but I think it's.
I wonder why they haven't, or if it just doesn't work the same, like, or if they've tried to stick AI on other problems. Like, obviously Tesla's doing it with self-driving, but like, what about, I don't know, building the theoretical perfect car? Like, why isn't Ford using AI to try and design a car that like has like the perfect gas efficiency?
They probably are.
Maybe,
but it's just not working. Like, they're not getting what they.
But if AI
get.
can figure out Go, wouldn't you expect it to figure out stuff like that too? At the stage that is at, like,
buddy, it's not outlandish to think that there are secret fucking bunker laboratories where there are AI all through it in different phases of understanding, even like almost like you ever watch Westworld?
No, but I'm familiar with the concept.
Yeah, where they were doing that, but
like,
I mean, to
some
degree, it would be different than that. But where they have this place where they're all like they had the facility where they were all like housed essentially. Who knows if something like that's not going on, and they're just giving them. Like, this AI is working on this and this AI is working on that, and they're doing all the tests and seeing how they perform, and then certain ones they go, oh, this one's retarded, put this one down. This one's progressing.
But the point is, it's not you don't. It's a weird thing because it isn't just like you build an AI and then see what it can do, and it's like, oh, okay, well, we got to build another one. With Go, what they did was, I think this is why this particular research was revolutionary, is they basically told the AI that it can, if it gets to a point where it can't figure it out, it's allowed to build a new AI to iterate onto itself to try and solve the problem. So like, the AI is making AIs to solve the AI's problem. We built the AI to solve our problem. The AI builds AI to solve its problem, and through this iterative process,
those AIs are going to keep
Go.
Yeah.
So I would have expected things, maybe not everything, but like, microchips, weird things that are like very logical. Like, for, maybe it's really hard to design a perfect car, but I feel like you could easily have AI creating, just CPUs. Every hour it has designed a better CPU, and you just run that for a couple weeks, and then you've like completely revolutionized computers, and then Intel's stock price hits $20 trillion. Like,
but what gets
expected that?
Where it gets weird is the idea that AI at some point they'll get to a point where they go, why the fuck are we doing this, and who are we
That's
doing
when
this
it's
for?
conscious, and that's when it gets scary.
So it's like, and if it got to that point, if that's an inevitable end to intelligence, let's say, becomes self-aware, like the more intelligent something becomes. But really, that's kind of like it's a strange argument to have, because that would imply that somehow that we're so intelligent. But I don't really think that's true.
Maybe not intelligent, but conscious. The conscious problem that we don't, because we don't fuck all about.
But if you say that AI, artificial intelligence, gets to a point where it becomes conscious, how does it get to that point? Is it through intelligence,
that's the thing.
through learning, or is it just through time?
Well, the thing is, we don't understand consciousness, so you couldn't even begin to answer that
that's
question.
What I'm saying.
But it's the big question is it even possible for a machine to develop consciousness, like actual consciousness?
But
and then how do you even test that?
But it almost seems like it's happened.
How?
To some degree. Like when you look at things like Deep Blue, right? How do you explain that machine somehow changed its approach? It would be a slave to its programming.
No, because you wouldn't call like the flu conscious.
Sure it is.
No, it's not.
It's a fucking virus. Of course it's...
Viruses aren't even considered alive.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
They are?
No.
So what are they considered?
They're considered viruses. It's a class of thing. Like it's not considered like alive.
Then how can you kill a
structure.
virus?
Well, that's just language that we use to describe
okay,
it. It's not. You're not actually killing it. You're maybe destroying the molecule, but it's like look into this. Like viruses aren't considered real life forms. They're not like bacteria or anything like that. It's
news to me. I'm not gonna pretend to know anything. That doesn't sound right to me.
No, that's how it is.
Okay.
Yet they do all these crazy things.
Oh, well, hey, I'm going to give...
Because there's
I'm going to look it up, but I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Because there's complicated processes that can happen, and you have this like evolutionary process of iterative attempting, if you have some kind of goal, whether it's necessary or I don't even know how to begin to describe it.
Well, this is the quick answer. I don't know if like you could get into better answers, but this is the first one that comes in Google. It says, biologists say no, viruses are not made out of cells. They can't keep themselves in a stable state. They don't grow, and they can't make their own energy. Even though they definitely replicate and adapt to their environment, viruses are more like androids than real living organisms. Well, that's weird.
Yeah, you wouldn't interpret, because the language we use around them is as if they're alive, but they're not. It's a different kind of thing, and so that's kind of. You can look at that and extrapolate that to AI and be like, okay, something similar could be going on. But even AI is just a whole different.
Then that changes the whole idea of everything, really. When you think about that, like we so casually accept that answer as a fucking answer to just say, oh yeah, no, they're not alive. Then how do you fucking explain that? Everything we think we know about living things and stuff is out the window then.
Well, you just figured it out.
But viruses act as if they're a living thing.
I
know, but I'm saying
you don't know how a virus acts because you don't observe and you kind of take for granted.
But I'm saying though,
as well as the language around it as if it's a living. But you just open the door. You just figured out the thing. Like we know fuck all, but we pretend like we know almost everything.
Yeah.